George Carlin was one of the most influential comedians of all time. He was a master of language, and his political satire and social commentary went against the grain, always taking things to extremes. Carlin didn't only make people laugh, he made them think as well. He released more than 20 albums, recorded more than a dozen HBO comedy specials, and challenged both conventional American thinking and governmental procedure. He touched the lives of generations. To grasp the magnitude of his impact, here are 10 things you probably did not know about the always brilliant George Carlin. Number 1, Carlin's mother wasn't expecting any child, so when first she found out she was pregnant, she decided that she wasn't ready and made plans to have an abortion. She even made it as far as the clinic waiting room, but while waiting she saw a wall painting that reminded her own recently deceased mother and took it as a sign that she should keep the baby. Despite this, George was always vehemently pro-choice. Number 2, he was 2 months old, that one day, his mother decided she had enough. She took George and his 5-year-old brother and escaped his abusive father. Later, he heard from his mother the struggle they went through, to climb down the fire escape of his grandfather's Manhattan apartment. George's uncle drove them out of the city. George never saw his father again. Number 3, when George was in Milwaukee, he was about to be arrested, that same year for an offensive routine. He was worried because he had C.O.C in his pocket. He was lucky, his wife was able to warn him in advance while bringing water to him on stage, and after his show was done, he handed over the drugs to a band member that was also playing the event before the police took him away. Number 4, Carlin's first hardcover book, Brain Droppings, spent 40 weeks on the New York Times bestseller list. His nickname was the Dean of Counterculture Comedians. Carlin won 5 Grammys, for his albums FM and AM, Jammin' in New York, Brain Droppings, Napalm and Silly Putty and It's Bad for Ya. Carlin was awarded the 2008 Mark Twain Prize for American Humor by the Kennedy Center for the Performing Arts, becoming the first posthumous recipient. Number 5, George was married to the same woman for 37 years, his friend used to call him Sweet Lover. He believed that being smart is one of the sexiest things, and also felt that when you have the kind of idealized, romantic love where 2 personalities are strongly attracted to each other, it makes the sex better. Number 6. George wasn't fan of voting. I stopped voting because I could see it didn't make any difference, he said. This charade every 4 years of moving things around a little bit, it's all one party, it's one agenda, and you're given this illusion of choice. Number 7. He collected and kept extensive files of material, thoughts, notions, ideas, and pieces of data in about 1,300 separate files over 44 years. He was always shocked when he'd learn that other comedians didn't keep such files. Number 8. George considered Eminem a brilliant poetic artist, and his 1990s comeback was partially influenced by his admiration for Sam Kinison. In general, he had great respect for younger performers. Number 9. In spite of society's guidelines, George Carlin was an insurrectionist who rebelled against conformity and created his own method of success. His anti-establishmentarian comedy methods still inspire young comics around the world. Jimmy Kimmel, Bill Burr, Dave Attell, Chris Rock, Louis C.K., Bill Maher, Stephen Colbert, Colin Quinn, Ben Stiller, Louis Black and Jim Jeffries are some of them. Thanks to his over 100 late-night TV appearances, 16 HBO specials, and over 20 comedy records. Number 10. When he was young, Carlin used to jot down the finest, most vivid swear words and expletives he heard. He kept the list in his wallet. His mother, on the other hand, took it as a sign that he needed a psychiatrist after finding it. His final acting performance was voicing the wizard in the animated film Happily Ever After. The movie was panned by critics. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe.